All right, in this next problem, what we're trying to find here is what percent is the discount? Okay, so to find the discount here, we're going to have to understand any information that relates to the discount. So one more time, we're looking for the percent of the discount, and we see all that here. So when we read through the information, we see that we have this bicycle that costs $350, and a sale saves you $70. So right there, we know what the bike costs, $350 originally, and then we have that $70 discount. So to get the percent discount, we need to understand that formula. When we plug in the percent and we multiply by that 350, well, guess what? If the percentage that we are applying just so happens to be the discount, the result that you get will be the discount. And so when we ask ourselves, well, hey, if we plugged in the $70, will that work? Absolutely. Because if we plug in the amount that is the discount, we'll get the percent that is the discount. We always want to think about being consistent with that formula. That's how we'll get to that place of confidence. So here we go. Plugging in the $70 equals the 350 multiplied by that percentage. When we consider this, to be honest, everybody, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and plug in each of these percentages to see which one results in 70, but that would take a super long time to do this directly. We're just going to work backwards. Instead of multiplying by 350, we will divide by it on both sides. And once we do, booyah, cancels out on the left. And now what we need to do is figure out how many times 350 goes into 70. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. 350 into 70. So here we are. 350 going into 70. And I already know that 350 can't go into 70. So we'll go ahead and place a decimal and then expose another zero. And now we ask ourselves, how many times does 350 go into 700? And if it's not clear, if it's not obvious, no worries. Move to the side, do some guess and check work, some trial and error, and we'll just start off with 2. 350 multiplied by 2, 0 times 2, 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. And then we have 3 times 2 is 6, carry the 1 is 7. So that's exactly what we're looking for. And so we will get 0.2 for that result. And so when we have 0.2, again, it's a clean division, just going to show that right there. But we have 0.2 equals P. And so remember, this is in decimal form, as expected. To turn this back into a percentage, we're going to do the opposite of moving twice to the left. We'll move twice to the right, referring to that decimal place. So once, twice, there's our new decimal point. Everybody, what number belongs in that blank space? As always, yeah, that'll be a 0. So what we have is that percentage is going to be 20%. That's the amount of the discount, $70, and it relates to a 20% discount, which is answer choice B. All right, next problem up. As always, read that question sentence first. Read that question sentence first. So it reads, what is its average speed? So go ahead and let me know, my party people. When I talk about average speed, that is synonymous with what term when it comes to what we're teaching here? Yeah, that's synonymous with rate. Whenever we are trying to find average speed, we're trying to find its rate. And if we notice that we have distance and time, we can set up our formula. So let's check things out. Let's see what we can do and handle it with grace. So again, we're looking for average speed. And I notice that I have a distance right there, 150 miles. And I also notice that I have a time frame, 2.5 hours. So given that I have a distance and I have a time, but I'm looking for rate, hey, I have everything I need to set up my formula. Distance equals rate times time. I have 150 miles for distance, 2.5 hours for that time, and I'm looking for the rate. Everybody, what operation will I employ here to get that rate by itself? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to operate with division because, remember everybody, I can only multiply if I'm trying to find distance. I am not trying to find distance, I'm trying to find rate. I don't have the rate. So to work backwards and get the rate, I have to divide. Divide by 2.5 on both sides. Cancels out on the right side. And just brings us down to 150 divided by 2.5. So we may be looking at this thinking, oh boy, we're dealing with a decimal, but give yourself, again, a little bit of grace. Because remember, we can handle decimals in division by not dividing by decimals. That's my main strategy there. So allow me to move this over slightly to the side, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. We have 150 divided by 2.5. And I'm going to use that age-old rule, whatever you do to the bottom, we are going to do to the top. That's my rule right there. So what I'll do is I will move the decimal place over to the right one time on the bottom, and that's going to make 25. Again, a whole number. I would much rather divide by a whole number. But don't forget, if I'm going to move that decimal place over on the bottom one time, I have got to do the same thing up top. But help me out, everybody. I don't have a number here. There's no number there when I move that decimal place over. What number belongs there? Yes, a 0. That would be a 0. Absolutely. So the top part goes from 150, turns into 1,500. That's what that turns into. So notice, we went from dividing by a 2.5, dividing by a decimal that we would think is a little awkward. We went from something a little awkward to something that's slightly bigger, but more familiar. And that's how I would argue that. Because again, I'm not sure, when it comes to long division, it can get very confusing when it comes to dividing by a decimal. So why divide by a decimal? Divide by a whole number because you're guaranteed to get the same exact answer. As long as you do the same thing on the bottom and the top. As long as you do that right there, moving that decimal place consistently, you're good. This will work. That will give you the final answer. So with that said, here we are, 25 going into 1,500, just like that. So let's ask ourselves, how many times does 25 go into 1? It doesn't. How many times does 25 go into 15? It doesn't. How many times does 25 go into 150? Okay, I see some of y'all saying 6. Let's give that a shot. Let's go ahead and do 25 multiplied by 6. Let's see where that leads us. 5 multiplied by 6 gives us 30. And then 2 multiplied by 6, that gives us 12. Carry the 3, and that gives us 15. So yeah, I should never doubt you guys again. Absolutely correct. Booyah, that is 150, so that'll be a 6 right there. We subtract, giving us 0, and then we'll drop that 0, but 25 goes into 0 exactly 0 times. So bam, that's it. We're done. That is our final answer. Our final correct answer here is a rate of 60 miles per hour. There that is. The correct answer is answer choice D.